Hello everyone. So this is a short video on Quanto correlation. I know most of you will have come across Quanto correlation as this expression, but this is quite common in books, but people confuse the signs, and generally in interviews, at least I try to ask about how the sign will behave. And it's not the mathematical explanation, it's a more intuitive explanation how traders think of. I will try to simplify by taking a very simple example of Apple shares. Let's say, make some assumptions. Apple is $100, number of shares is 10, and USD JPY is 100. And I am an investor who is investing, let's say, 100,000 JPY, which is roughly 1,000 or exactly 1,000 USD. We can assume it's a simple Quanto call option. Trader has sold this ATM Quanto call on Apple. So 100,000 JPY has been invested in this. If the stock rises by 10%, the profit should be 10K, right? This should be the profit. But let's do the calculation the other way around by converting it. In this, I will assuming that USD JPY is not moving. Then we will take the other case where USD JPY moves, and we will consider what does Quanto do to it, which is it makes sure that the percentage return is same no matter where USD JPY moves. So for example, just to make it clear, if it's 100K JPY he invested, I purchased 1,000 shares of Apple. Sorry, it's not 1,000, it's I think 10 shares of Apple. Equivalent value was not 10 shares times 100. Let's say it went up by 10%. So value is 10 shares times 110, 1100, and the initial investment was 1,000. My profit is this minus this, which is $100. And when I convert this $100 times 100, which is USD JPY, is 10K or 10,000. Same calculation in a different way because that's simple. Now this was pretty basic. Everybody knew that. What happens in the Quanto? Initially, I assumed that this case happened, but what if JPY went up or JPY went up, meaning that JPY became a stronger currency. Think of the trader, what he will have to do. He is holding, he knows that he has to pay me this much, right? This amount is constant. If the 10% return is there, he has to pay me fork up 10K in JPY. The problem is that he is holding this much $100 worth of profit, and JPY going up means USD JPY is already down. So if I use the original level of USD JPY, I would never be able to pay 10K. That is what I need to pay somehow because stock has gone up by 10%. So basically, this one, when the stock went up, JPY appreciated, means USD JPY went down, and trader has to somehow accumulate more of JPY, which means that Apple went up. I need to somehow be long JPY to hedge my risk. Make sense? Because if JPY increased, I will make a loss because I won't be able to pay. Similarly, if Apple went down, it's a simple case. You can think of the answer. What will happen to JPY? What is my risk here? So basically, if I think about it, I am short Apple versus JPY USD correlation. Because Apple going up and JPY going up has a problem for me. It's very simple to think of. Or you can rephrase as, if you are holding a stock in a currency which is weak or becomes weaker because JPY can only become strong against USD, then definitely this will be the weaker currency. This is a weak currency. And this is based on the events, this is a strong currency. And if you are holding a weak currency, you have a loss situation because then you need to be correlated with this. You are short this correlation. And it's a very simple fact to think. Now, same thing I can convert to an expression that, okay, if I am selling this initially, then to charge this cost, I want my forward to go up. Means this, this. Sigma 1, sigma 2 as walls, always positive. This can be positive or negative. I know this is referring to Apple versus JPY USD correlation. Because as Apple goes up, JPY USD correlation is positive, my forward goes up, charges a cost. And this is my cost of Quanto. So always if you think in terms of stronger versus weak currency, then it is easier to think of the Quanto concept. Other than that, it becomes a bit confusing.